Cissé. Oh, it's fabulous! A strike to get you up off your seats.
Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social, Season 5, Episode 1. We are back. It's the first Premier League game of the season, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Ben and Adam. How are we doing, chaps? Feel good?
Feeling good, mate. That is a one way to start the season. Proving Maz and Jack wrong and then getting a 3-0 win as well. It can't be any better than that. Dismantling a Sean Dyche team who we normally struggle against like that. 31-year-old manager, by the way. First game in the Premier League and one of the oldest clubs in the Premier League. Just completely made them look like children, really, even though one of their players was 39 years old.
Yeah, we're going to get on to you proving me and Jack wrong. But before we do that, Adam, welcome. You're our first show officially of the new season. You've obviously been on plenty of times before, but welcome as one of our new co-hosts. How are you? You all good?
Yeah, I'm good. Obviously feeling so much better after that result yesterday. But yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. It's obviously been so good to be a part of this over the last few years. So it's become a more firm fixture, you know.
There you go, mate. It's our pleasure, mate. It's our pleasure to have you. So should we crack on, boys? Because obviously, big result. Pre-season we looked brilliant, and then we've sort of carried that on. I know it's only one game. We don't want to get too excited, do we? But it was amazing signs. Let's start with you, Adam. Yeah, what an impact! What a start! Obviously, a big 3-0 win. Just talk us through your initial feedback on the game itself.
I mean, by the end of the game, I'm sure we all thought it was a pretty comfortable win. We ended up I wrote for the kind of YouTube video I did that we battered them. That's probably a bit of an exaggeration, but in the end it felt quite comfortable, obviously with them going out to 10 men. But that first 25 minutes was we had to really battle through that. The physicality Everton was showing, they were getting in behind so often. Players like Weiffer looked like they were struggling to get up to speed a little bit. And we did have to, it was a kind of game of two halves, I think, a little bit. We had to really kind of weather the storm up until the point we got that first goal. But by the end, and just the way the whole game went with the momentum of the goals going in and the red card, it felt quite comfortable. We had, players like Minteh looking unbelievable, Dingra coming in, looking so good. Our attacking depth looks insane. There are so many positives that we'll probably get into. But yeah, just what a result. Do you know what I mean? What a way to start the season. We've obviously had pre-season where we've looked so impressive, but it's obviously hard to gauge. And I think that Villarreal game was probably our toughest test. But even then, we looked pretty good. Yeah. And I think a lot of my worries I spoke about before the season were I feel like I don't fully get hurt to the system. So I was kind of a little bit worried about how we'd actually fare against a proper Premier League side in its most raw form, physical, that kind of thing.
Which is Sean Dyche to a T as well. That's probably the best team to play.
Exactly. Yeah. And we kind of came through that quite well and showed some a pragmatic style and everything. So yeah, couldn't be a better start.
Yeah. Talking of how Herzl was set up, there was a lot of talk about last season, how we struggled against low blocks, especially De Zerbi. So to get through that in the first game of the season against a low block like Everton, I think it's a great start and it's a great sign as well. And let's get on to you, Ben. Obviously, there was a couple of surprises. We'll start with the starting lineup actually, because in terms of that left back or left wing back position, obviously Hinshelwood came in there. We all thought it was going to be Barco going to be starting there. Were you surprised about that? And also, did you think? I'll be honest, we'll get onto it properly, but I think Hinshelwood had a bit of a torrid time, especially in the first half against Harrison, because they loved that switch ball. I think it was Tarkowski. He'd just switch it out to the right, and then Harrison would just go at him. So, yeah, first of all, were you surprised at his inclusion, and what do you think of his performance?
Yeah, I think everyone was surprised. I mean, I imagine a lot of Brighton fans have probably been asked by their other mates, being like, will Barco start? People that don't support Brighton, and 9 times, I know, Maz, you were on 2 hours before the deadline. I remember.
I was getting so many messages.
Is Barco going to be playing? Unfortunately for them, no, for some reason. But I was very, very surprised when Hinshelwood came in. That was really, really unexpected. And I guess maybe they targeted him. Is that why they were pinging the ball to Jack Harrison so much? Because obviously Hinshelwood's a centre mid. He played really well at right back last season. Then he's been given a task on the left hand side. So maybe they did target him. But obviously, yeah, like you said, Adam, they did get through quite a bit in those opening 20 minutes, and could have been a really, really different game if it wasn't offside, like in the first minute when we conceded, whatever minute it was, and then that chance from Dwight McNeil Jesus Christ. They could have 1-0 up, 2-0 up there by that point. And
how did he not score that?
Genuinely, how did he not?
Unbelievable. I mean, it was offside, but like, how did he not?
All of their luck that they had against us when they beat us 4-1, I feel like they ran out of that at Goodison Park yesterday. So that was a really shaky start, but that shows a lot of character to then come back from that and then to play the way we did compared to the start is that was really, really impressive. Still worrying though, isn't it? Still worrying that they were so easy, they could get through that easily.
Yeah, there was definitely signs defensively. But Adam, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, just on that starting lineup, now we're talking about it, like the fact there was no Belabor and like we didn't really see him. Did he even come on? He didn't come on, did he? Like,
No.
Do you guys find that that surprised me quite a lot because I saw him live. The only preseason game I saw live was the QPR game, and he was just a beast. Like he was playing it like a left back, but he was unbelievable. He looked like literally cut above everyone. And like to not even come on at all, like
that did surprise me. Yeah, I'll be honest. I thought he'd start. To be honest, I know Milner. Basically, when I saw the Villarreal lineup and from the first half, I was like, I'm expecting this to be very close, if not the starting 11 for Everton. So I had a feeling he wouldn't start when I saw Milner starting at the Villarreal game, but then to not come on like you said at all, that did surprise me, and to be able to have a partner, you want to have the midfield partnership. You want it sort of start strong, right? Like I think if he had started against Everton and then he had a good game, then you're like, right, there you go. That is your two centre midfielders. You've got Weiffer and Belabor in that little pivot, and they're going to be the guys taking you forward for the rest of the season. So yeah, I'm not worried because I think this is obviously his first game, but I was surprised not to see him feature at all, and I think he could potentially be that guy with Weiffer. In that midfield position, but it'll be interesting to see if we do get another centre midfielder. Obviously, Gomez, I believe, is coming in January. Is that right? So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out because it feels like we're stockpiling a lot. I don't know if there's like an impending ban coming in. I don't know if we're doing a Chelsea here, but I feel like we're stockpiling a lot at the moment. But no, go back to Belabor. I feel like it should hopefully. Next game maybe we'll see him feature against Man United, hopefully in some capacity, and then hopefully he has a good game and carries on, really.
Just on the midfield, I want to quickly mention it in case I forget. Obviously, Gilmour did feature, which I don't think I would have expected like a week or so ago, and looked decent. I'm wondering, like, will he stay now? Because has Hörsler maybe had a change of heart, or maybe has the deal fallen through with Napoli? But I would be buzzing for him to stay because I absolutely love him, and I know for a fact he's so good with the squad behind the scenes. So, like, I don't know about you guys. Do you reckon he is going to stay now?
But like, because a lot of the talk in pre-season was like, he's not in Hertzler's plans. That's why he's not playing. Do you reckon there's a chance that maybe he was just like injured or something, or like wasn't coming back fully fit? That's why we weren't playing. Because like it does feel really weird to like essentially freeze him out in pre-season and then play him in the first game of the season. Like that just seems so random.
Yeah,
if he genuinely wasn't part of his plans, you wouldn't play him in the first game of the season, would you?
That's what I thought as well. I was a bit confused, but at the same time, I was sort of like, oh, I like this because I'm a big fan of Gilmour. I think it's a real shame if we were to lose him because I think he brings a Premier League experience now. I know I'm not saying like a wealth of experience, but enough. I think he's out a couple
Champions
of seasons.
League winner.
Champions League winner. He's brought a couple of years of Premier League experience under his belt. Like you said, Ben, I think a huge thing is his impact on the squad behind the scenes. Like I know he's a massive part of like the banter that goes on, the good vibes, and like it feels like he's obviously an integral part in keeping sort of the spirits up as well. So yeah, I think it'll be a great shame for him to leave. But I believe Napoli have agreed. It's just I think it's like agreed personal terms. I believe it's now just down to the actual fee, and I believe it's around 20 million or something. But again, don't know how far advanced that is, but yeah, it was a bit of a weird one. Obviously, he was a part of that disallowed Ayari goal. So yeah, it was good to see him come on and be involved. And you never know if he stays, that'd be amazing. I think to have options in midfield. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not 100% sure.
It didn't look like he was like waving goodbye either. There was like obviously footage at the end of the game of all the players like clapping and stuff like that. And like, Milner had his arm around him and stuff like that. It didn't look like he was like pushed to the front to applaud and say goodbye. Yeah. So who knows? Who knows?
I hope he stays.
Yeah,
I hope he stays.
We want you to stay, Billy, if you are listening.
100%. I saw he liked to post like where it said that the Brighton fans wanted to stay. So like, hopefully.
Oh yeah, the Gilmour fan page.
Was it? Yeah, was it that? Yeah. But like I've seen a lot of people talk about like, Gilmour's not suited to the Hertzler system, and it's like I don't really buy that. I think Having
Not
a
at all.
progressive passer in your team who can, like, you know, who loves passing forwards, who can keep the ball when you're under pressure. Like, yeah, he might not. He's a bit of a Dale Stevens in the sense, like, it's like sideways, backwards. You know, not doing some crazy different splitting passes, but like having those players is so important. Just keeping possession,
100%.
ticking over. Like, I think he'd be such an addition to the squad, particularly when we lose players like Gross and stuff. Like, it's important.
And he's really, really good at what Weiffer, failed at the beginning of the second half, like that turn, receiving the ball and then giving it away. But obviously, Weiffer had that incident we will probably talk about a bit later. But yeah, Billy Gilmour's so good at that, and to lose that sort of ability would be a shame for sure.
No, 100%. And let's focus on the first half because, of course, they like we I think we've alluded to. I think we did struggle a little bit in the first sort of 15-20 minutes. I feel like Everton probably had the upper hand, so to speak, especially down that our left and their right. Again, talking about Harrison and that combination with Hinchelwood. But of course, then that moment of magic from Minteh, an unbelievable across, and a good finish from Mitoma as well. Let's start with you, Adam. Let's talk about Minteh because we'll get onto his little. Just before half time, his little, got a little bit upset, which I completely understand and I think was completely valid. And again, we'll talk about it. But yeah, he looked electric, didn't he? And he's looked so good in pre-season. I feel like we all sort of had a feeling that he might do it, but it's all about actually doing it when it comes to the Premier League. It's a big step up, like you said, in pre-season.
100%, and like he was probably the player of pre-season. I think that right wing last season was a really difficult position for us because, like, obviously you lost Solly March. We ended up basically relying on a Dinger the whole season to play every single game, and like that just didn't really work in the end. And Dinger was so good, but I think having more of those options on the right wing is so good. And he seems to find it so easy to like beat a man in the same way that kind of Mitoma does. He's got that really direct style of cut in and shoot.
Yeah,
and we saw that in pre-season, but we also saw it again yesterday. From minute one, pretty much he was our outlet. I said on my video that I did that we were almost playing kind of like counter-attacking football because they were kind of putting all the pressure on us for that first 20 minutes. So we were just using Minteh and Mitoma as that outlet, and his ability to just like run past defenders, get in behind, it was so good. He's going to be unbelievable this season. He's going to be absolutely unbelievable. And he was like, he was so good. Gutted to come off. He'll be gutted, but... Yeah, Dinger did so as well. And
talking about that injury, obviously it was deemed as a concussion, so the team's got an extra substitution. And now I've been reading that apparently, if it is down to so this is my understanding, and again I might not be correct, but from what I've read. So apparently they have 24 hours after the game to then submit a report to see whether he's concussed or it wasn't a concussion, but it was just like a safety thing. And then after that 24 hours, if it's deemed he had concussion, he will have to have 10 days, I believe, out of action as protocol, which is obviously huge for us because that means he misses Man United and Crawley. Man United probably being the most important. No disrespect to Crawley, but the Man United game, obviously, we'd love to see our full-strength team go against that side. So, yeah, does that worry you, Ben, if it potentially... I'm not sure if it will become like a concussion thing, but, yeah, quite a big miss for the Man United game, I suppose.
Yeah, that's huge. That's thrown me, to be honest. I had no idea that would be the case. I thought it would just be like maybe a few days rest or whatever. I'm not really too clued up on concussion. But that would be a real shame because he looked so good in that first half. Generally looks like he could be a world-class player very, very soon, which is big words, but he does. He looks so quick. I don't know if it's because Everton defenders were really, really slow. Probably a little bit of that as well. But that first goal when... I mean,
Mikalenko's no slouch, is he?
True. But that first goal, I think everyone just looked rapid. Like when Mitoma picked up the ball from defence, which was incredible, drove through like two players, cut straight through them so easily and so quickly, and the ball to Minteh. Yeah, he just looked rapid, looked so quick, and what a ball. But that would be such a shame because I can imagine Minteh would cause Man United a lot of trouble. If you look at how good Adama was against that left-hand side of Man United, imagine what Minteh can do, who actually probably has... Well, no, not
an end
probably,
product.
who actually has an end product, whereas Adama just skies it over or just falls over.
I think the thing about Minteh really like about Minteh is the fact that it seems like he has that end product already. Like he's come in, it's his first game. We saw it in pre-season. He's so young, but it's not just like he's really good at dribbling past plays. He can finish.
His finish is unbelievable.
Perfect ball into the box. Like, it's quite rare you see that with young players who kind of do have that end product straight away. I think that's like really, really cool
100%. Yeah, because that sometimes takes a player years to develop, right, at such an early age. But it seems like, his finish is unbelievable. And just quickly, obviously he had a bit of a huff, which, again, like I said earlier, I sort of completely understand. And do you know what? I quite liked it. I think it shows sort of, he's got a drive, he's got a passion, he wants to stay on the pitch. He's got that dog in him. So yeah, do we all agree? We're all happy with that? Like, as long as he doesn't, cause a scene, I suppose, after the game or carries it on for like, a couple of days, I suppose it's all good, right? Like in the heat of the moment, you sort of expect that.
Yeah, I imagine his expectations for that match was he was going to play a full 90, get an assist, which he done, and probably get a goal because he's shown it in pre-season. So I'm sure he's just probably really, really frustrated and more just gutted that his debut, where he could have really, really made a name for himself, was cut very, very short. But
yeah,
I mean, there's still another 37 games for that, mate. Don't you worry, and hopefully a few games in the cup as well. But I'm sure he'll be showing everyone how good he is soon.
Yeah, for sure. And then let's talk about Mitoma as well. We've got to give him his flowers because for me, he felt like a new signing. Obviously, we missed him in big parts of last season. And I think going into this season, just based off yesterday, him and Minteh are going to be an absolute problem, like down those wings.
Let's not forget Welbeck as well, by the way, in the middle.
Yeah. No,
Jesus. No. that MWM, forget Messi, Neymar, Suarez, mate. We've got a new front three.
Mate, but genuinely, even like, I know João Pedro didn't have an amazing game, but you can see what potentially that front four can do. You got Welbeck, João Pedro, Minteh and Mitoma. That could genuinely be
soon to be Ritter as well. Like, does Ritter start? By the way, looking at that,
we got Gruder as well. Who can play in those positions, like we
to come back.
And Ciso,
oh my god, what a headache!
It's actually insane. Yeah, I do not envy Hurzeler, but yeah, Adam. In terms of Mitoma's impact, I thought he was brilliant yesterday, and how refreshing is it to see him back and playing to the level we know he can be.
That's it. Like, get his back to that level, and you can really see it. Like, I think we saw that dip off a little bit last season. Obviously, like, he was struggling with injuries a bit, and then went on to like miss a lot of the season. If he can recreate that kind of the form he showed this time last year, you think back to that Wolves game. Was it the first game of the season? The Wolves game,
it was.
Or one of the first games of the season, where he was just like unbelievable in that game. And it's interesting because you hear a lot of fans, like, obviously working for like TalkSport as I do, loads of football fans. The talk to me is always like, Brighton are going to get relegated this season. Mitoma's washed. He's not the same as he was. He just don't have a clue. Like, you see in that game yesterday, he was back to his best. And one of the things that I've been, and this is so critical of Mitoma, so I think sometimes he's a little bit like, he's so good at dribbling, so good at beating a man, but maybe doesn't always have that end product in terms of like getting that goal or getting that assist. That's maybe a little bit harsh, but we saw that again yesterday, like getting into the box, getting into those right spaces, getting on the end of things. Another thing that you guys were talking about with our attacks through like Minteh and Mitoma is like, we get so many bodies forward as well when we attack. Like with that goal as well, the Minteh cross into Mitoma, we had like 4 bodies in the box by the end of it. Like, if it wasn't Mitoma, it might have been someone else if it had bounced out. Like, the attack's looking so bright. Like, it's so good. Yeah.
And then, like we've mentioned, we've got so much firepower to come off the bench as well. Sarmiento, you saw Ayari yesterday, unlucky not to get a goal. You then, like we said, we've got Enciso, we've got Gruder, we've got Rutter. It's actually insane the depth we're going to have.
You can't fit them all on the bench physically. Like, you need to have defenders and goalkeepers on the bench. So how's that even going to work? Someone's going to be dropped. I'm really scared that
going out on loan as well.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
who is?
Cozy Dewberry. So
okay,
he
that makes a lot of
would
sense.
have been in, but like, I guess that it's one.
Where's he going?
To worry about.
Do we know?
100%.
It's just said it's a championship loan, so we'll find out.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I think I'm happy with that. And I suppose,
you know what, I would not be surprised if it's Leeds. Would not be surprised if it's Leeds if maybe we.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout. To be fair,
they've lost Somerville. If they're losing Ritter as well.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout. But yeah, a good problem for Hurzeler to have, which is great. And then going into the second half, of course, we had that scare, didn't we? When we 1-0 up. The Dunkey penalty, which was never a penalty in my eyes. Calvert-Lewin did step on Dunk, and you could tell straight away from his reaction. He was like, no, there's no chance. But because obviously I was watching it on a completely legal stream, it was difficult to actually decipher whether Dunk had made a really rash. You know what Dunk's sometimes like? He does have that little bit of rashness
to him. Not sometimes, always like.
Yeah. But he does dive in.
It does pay off when he dives. He blocks a lot, but he doesn't.
And do you know what was killing me as well? It was absolutely killing me. The commentator. I don't know who was on comms on this great stream I was watching.
Oh yeah, but I think I saw the same commentary. I know what you're about to say.
Mate, he was going, oh, it's a Stonewall penalty. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's literally, so he was like, his argument, the commentator's argument was that Duncan slid in and that's why Calvert-Lewin stepped on his foot. And I was like, he was like, if Duncan slid in, his foot wouldn't be there for him to step on. I was like, what are you talking about? But yeah, thankfully VAR did intervene and he did make the right decision in the end. But yeah, Adam, was your heart in your mouth at any stage at that point?
100% when it got given, because like you kind of see it happen, you think, okay, penalty. Then they show the replay. I remember I saw the first replay and I thought, oh my God, Dunk sliding in here, like definite pen. But as soon as you actually watch it from the right angle, you can just see. I think the trouble is like he does slide in and like he doesn't actually get the ball either, but he doesn't get the man either. Like he just doesn't get anyone. And then Calvert-Lewin just stands on him. So it's one of those. I mean, Deitch, it sounded like Deitch was absolutely fuming at the end of the game, but I just don't think he's got a leg to stand on.
Utter woke nonsense.
Yeah, like, it really is. Because it was rash from Dunk, but it was just one of those coming together. Not a pen, not a foul. If it was anywhere else on the pitch, probably wouldn't be a foul.
100%.
He's not diving in to tackle him. He's literally just diving in to throw his body on the line to block a potential shot.
I think that's what it is, because he was trying to block it. It looked like, it looked like it would have been.
My thing from it, I mean, there was actually two things actually. So I saw a video.
The Weiffer.
Before that, after that, I saw a video of who was it Simon Hooper, our referee, ran over to the screen, but the screen didn't even show anything. So just listening, just pretending to look at the screen, listening to them say, just
you're right.
Revert it, because we can't really show you what's happening at the moment, which is pointless anyway. Why can't they just tell him anyway? Because he didn't even see it.
We checked it. Just do it. Like, he doesn't need to go to the screen. Yeah.
Apparently, Everton fans were fuming because, like, apparently that was their main issue, was that actually he didn't see it on the screen because the screen.
Which is a fair argument, to be fair.
Yeah, like he was just told in his ear, basically, like.
Yeah. What's the point of having the screen in front of you then? Like, was it there just for dramatic effect? Like, it makes no sense. But just quickly,
Weiffer before. That's the whole reason why that all happened. That would have been awful for his confidence on his proper debut. So I'm glad we spared his blushes there.
Just quickly before we actually get onto Weiffer's performance, because again, I believe every minute that passed, he was getting better and better. Obviously, he had his little moments where, sloppy in possession and obviously got dispossessed for that potential penalty. But just quickly before that, with regards to Weiffer, and actually his partner Milner, there was that moment as well in the first half where Van Hecker went absolutely mental at Milner, because when he was berating. So Milner was berating, I believe it was Veltman, maybe? He was berating Veltman. And then the ball's come into him from Van Hecker, and he's obviously not looking because he's looking at Veltman, and the Everton player just come in and nicked it off him, and he put us in a bit of a sticky position. So obviously, Milner and Weiffer both had their little moments, I suppose. Do we think Milner realistically is going to be Weiffer's partner going forward, or do you feel like it's a bit of a stopgap until Herzl has figured out? We'll start with you, Adam.
The only thing I'll say is, I think in short, no. But the only thing I think is like he's quite a good presser, and I think you see that with like Welbeck, and you see that with Milner as well. Like, they're both very good at leading that press, and I don't know the extent to which that's part of Herzl's tactics, but if it is, that might be a reason why he's like quite keen.
We know that. Yeah, we know Herzl loves pressing, which is why Minteh's so good at it as well. Like, he wins. I think in that half he won all of his tackles. I've got it up here somewhere actually.
Oh yeah, was that Statman Dave? Don't know.
Yeah, 100% tackles won, 100% dribbles completed. It's insane. And Minteh's so good for that.
That would be the only thing I'd be thinking is like maybe that's why he's kind of playing him in midfield, because but then I guess like Baleba could do that. He's got that energy, he's got that like dynamism, but I don't know, maybe it's that ability to lead it a bit more. I think, to be honest, I think both of them ended up, I saw Milner getting a bit stick. I actually thought him and Weiffer ended up playing really well in midfield together. I think that first 20-30 minutes they were both suspect, and they were both, it wasn't just like it was like losing the ball. Like some of their passes were just like going straight to
it
the
was
Everton
sloppy
players, just really sloppy from both of them, like getting caught on the ball. But they both like turned it on, and obviously it's easy once you're down to 10 men and stuff. But they both grew into the game completely. I think Milner will have a part to play in midfield, and I like that he's playing in midfield and not fullback this season.
Yeah, for sure. Because he could easily play him at left back, right? Well, if he didn't trust Barco to start, which he clearly didn't at that point, and then he brought in Hinshelwood, he could have easily played, because Milner played left back, didn't he, a couple of times last season, or right back?
Right back, mainly, yeah.
Oh, it's right back, yeah, sorry, yeah. So yeah, he could easily slotted him in a fullback position. But I think Milner's a steady pair of feet instead of hands.
But Weiffer, though, are people asking questions, or do you? I mean, me personally, I think I can definitely see a player there for sure. But obviously, it was just a shaky start, I guess.
I'll be honest. I think our whole team was shaky in the first 20, 30 minutes. I don't think it was just a purely Weiffer. I feel like even Dunkey had a few sloppy passes. Dunkey had a few sloppy ones. Veltman, I think, got dispossessed. Like, I think all over the pitch, if you looked, I think João Pedro put it out at one point. Like, a lot of players were not great in that first sort of 20, 30 minutes. But yeah, Weiffer, I think, grew into the game. Again, it reminded me of when he came on against QPR in the second half. He just looked really eager to please, and I think that's what it was with the Everton game. He just looked like he was just going forward. Yeah, trying too much and not really focusing maybe on what he's good at.
Basics.
Focus on the basics. Exactly. The basics, exactly. Proper Neil Warnock vibes. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think it will come good. I think it's one game in. Yeah. There's plenty of time to see what he's all about. And, of course, a big game coming up against Man United as well, which is going to be a great test for the whole squad, I suppose.
I think the thing with Weiffer as well, that I thought was quite interesting, is like you could see on his face when it cut to him after in that first 20, 30 minutes, when he'd kind of like received the ball off back line. I remember there was one moment where I think it was Calvert-Lewin like pressed him, won the ball off him, like really like on the edge of our box. It was really hairy at times, and it kind of cut to him after. You could tell he was thinking like, flipping it, like, what am I?
It's another level, this Prem.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. You can imagine like Dunkey or someone going like, "Welcome to the Prem," kind of thing, because but that's like such a typical thing for players to go through, isn't it? Like that after like 5-6 games, so we're used to that. You'd hope, and you can tell. Yeah. He's got the physicality, he's got the gait, he's got the whole. He's physically there to play in the Premier League. I think it's just about getting up to speed with the pace of the game in the Prem. I think that was all that he was struggling with, and I think he grew into that.
Brighton posted that clip of him, didn't they, in training, where I think it was like a 20-second clip where he like wins the ball off someone, just shrugging everyone off. And I was thinking, if we can get that guy every single game, that would be incredible. Like, he just looked like an absolute unit in training. So, yeah, I mean, the physicality is definitely there.
And then talking of Weiffer, he was integral in that second goal as well. Idrissa Gueye gave the ball away. He then picked it up. Great little pass to Danny Welbeck. And then, Danny Welbeck rewound time. He pulled back the years, and it was unbelievable. It was a great finish. And Everton, I'll be honest, let's be really frank, the defending was awful, wasn't it? Like, they just didn't try. It seemed like they didn't try, but I don't know. It was for you, Ben. What do you think of that goal? Do you feel like it was more good play from Welbeck, or do you think it was just poor defending from Everton?
A bit of both. I think we caught them out, obviously. Then you got Minteh and Mitoma just like running forward. So I think the Everton defenders was like, I have no idea. Adingra, sorry, obviously, yeah. And I was like, I think they were just thinking, I have no idea what to do right now. Like, do we press Welbeck or do we stick with these wingers? Because either way, if one of them came to Welbeck, he's just going to pass it to the other winger. So I think we were looking good no matter what happened. But yeah, Welbeck running through the years, mate, he looks rejuvenated. He looks like an unbelievable striker that I would happily have him start every single game if he continues like this. I was watching the games with a Wolves fan, and he was like, "I'd bite your hand off for Danny Welbeck right now," which is mental. A Wolves fan saying that. But yeah, he looks so good, and that's brilliant. Yeah, as the experienced head leading the line in a young team, I think like for balance wise, it's really, really good.
100%. And Adam, what do you think of the goal itself, and also just the resurgence of Danny Welbeck, I suppose? Well, again, it's only a game in, but he looked good, right?
Definitely, and I would say, I don't know if you could even call it a resurgence, because I think since he's been at the club, he's been very consistently good. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion. I remember last season there were times where I was really praising Welbeck and I was getting pelters for it, but I think his game has evolved a lot throughout the years. And you remember when you watched him at Man United and Arsenal, he was a player who could play off the shoulder, running behind. Still can kind of do that now, to be fair, but his ability to hold the ball up, bring others into play. I think the way we're playing at the moment with such dynamic wingers and a team who burst forward, with their wingers, having someone like him to kind of be that focal point and be able to shrug players off, etc. He's so valuable. And the fact, I was going to say he's probably the best finisher at the club. He's actually probably not now, but a few years ago he definitely was.
It wasn't hard a few years ago, to be fair.
Yeah, that's the thing. You saw that with the goal yesterday at Everton, like taking it on his left, putting it in the bottom corner. Yes, he had loads of space and the defending wasn't great, but lovely build up all round. You know, like you said, Matt, that ball from Weiffer, like in between those two players.
Fantastic.
And he did have a lot of space to go into, but a cracking goal where we again got so many players forward. It's so good. I love it.
Yeah. No, it was such I thought it was a great display of just like, again, doing those little basic things right. And then, it was a bit of fortune in the sense that Everton didn't decide to press him at all or do anything to try and stop him. But no, it was a fantastic finish. And I'm really happy for Danny Welbeck because, I was one of his haters, as people would like to say. But I have to eat my words. I think he... 2 years
consistently, mate. From episode 1 of this podcast, where we started 4 years ago.
Well, no, it's when we first signed him. It was when we first signed him. I did give him pelters.
We all were annoyed because we were linked with was it Nico Gonzalez from Fiorentina? I think we were linked with Darwin Núñez. We were like, oh my god! And then you end the transfer window with Danny Welbeck, and you're thinking, right, okay, we've been sold a dream again, and then you have to stick with him and XG and everything like that. It was a rough time to be a Brighton fan.
And
but
then
we're here now.
Like that lockdown season when that was his first season, wasn't it? Like that was just rough the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I was a bit of a hater, but I've got to eat my words. He's been a fantastic servant, and I'm sure he will continue to be for the rest of the season as well. And then let's talk about the red card, of course. Ashley Young took down Mitoma when he was pretty much clean through on goal. Do you know what? I watched the highlights back just because I'm a bit of a loser like that. I like to watch things twice. But I thought, not soft, I don't want to say soft because he was pretty much through on goal. But, I don't know, he sort of pulls at him sort of slightly and then Mitoma goes down. I don't want to say soft because... No, it is. That's the thing. That's what I was going to go on to say. It is the rules of the game. You can't take someone out when they're one-on-one, when they're about to go through one-on-one. So I completely get why it was a red card, but it felt a little bit soft, like a smidge, not totally. But it was a justified red card. Let's be frank about it. So I don't know if there's any more to say about that, if anyone. I feel like it's pretty straightforward.
I kind of get what you mean in the sense that there were obviously that was on the left hand side where Mitoma was, and there were probably a couple of centre backs who maybe could have come over as well.
Yeah,
could have defended the moment. But I think when you do watch it back, a few times, he's kind of through. He's basically through. Anyone would say he's through.
That's the thing,
and it's a denial of a goal scoring, or at least opportunity to score a goal. Whether he would have scored it, whether someone would have come across. It's one of those you can't really argue with it once the refs give.
No, exactly. And also, I suppose that sort of just killed the game, right? I think I was at 2-0, and they pretty much just then after that were screwed. And then was it? I was going to say, it was the Daichi. He brought on a defender, and everyone went mental in the stadium. Who did he bring on? I think he brought or it might have been a DM or something, and everyone just started booing. I was like, this is great. First game of this. Yeah. We got our football back. This is great. First game of the season, and they're booing, and they all left at 85th minute, 80th minute. So I was like, this is great. This is what we're here to see. But then, of course, the third goal, just to tie it all off. Ben, talk to us.
Well, looking at BHAFC's tweet here, our third goal was a sequence of 26, which is deserved.
I didn't realize it was that high.
If we ever saw it again. It was great to see. And Adingra, man, just seeing him come off the bench, a fresher Adingra, because I know we touched on it earlier, but the Adingra that played every single game last season had an AFCON as well to deal with, so he was absolutely knackered by the end of the season, and the whole squad was really. So seeing a fresh Adingra coming off the bench and causing the defence so much trouble was brilliant, It's very similar to the Welbeck goal. It just looks so easy, just run to just on the edge of the box and just put it in that bottom left corner. You don't have to put a foot through it, as long as it's accurate enough to get past Jordan Pickford's really, really, really short arms, and you should be good. That was so satisfying to get that third, and then then it's a party for the boys in the stands.
Yeah, it's a weird one with Adingra, isn't it? Because I don't know if you've seen Adam. He's a few people saying he's been linked away because of how many players we brought in those sort of wide positions. Are you worried that potentially he could be outgoing just to facilitate all these new incomings?
It's definitely one that's been spoken about. I think I'd personally be quite surprised, just because I think we saw yesterday that you need that depth, and I think we could have done with this depth last season when we were in Europe. It's ironic now that we're absolutely
I
stacked.
had that on my notes to say down. Like, that's so true.
Do you want to say it yourself?
So
It's like,
true.
no,
You got it. Imagine what we could have done last season with this squad.
No,
in
it's so
Europe.
true.
Good God.
So
But
true.
that's the thing. It's like, okay, we've got loads of players now. We've got this depth, and we all need the depth for the Carabao Cup or whatever. But like, ideally, you want that for playing in Europe. And I think, yes, okay, Dingra could go maybe to balance the books, although we don't seem to need to balance the books. It would just be, I think, to trim the fat in the squad. But we saw yesterday the impact he can have. I love Adingra. I've seen some chat about, he's one of our least technical, like our worst technically gifted. How would you describe that? Like kind of the winger in our team who's like not the best technically. I'm not sure I agree with that. I love the way he's so raw. He can kind of just run at players. He can knock the ball along, beat people for pace, get balls into the box. I love that kind of raw energy he's got about him. And I think
Like a street footballer.
Yeah, exactly, like that street footballer vibe to him. I think having those different options are like so useful. And he probably would have been quite worried at Dingra, like not being a mainstay in the pre-season matches, coming off the bench, being in those kind of like second string 11s that we were playing. Obviously, Minteh being so good, he probably would have been quite worried for his future. And I think yesterday was kind of a perfect opportunity for him to come on and like actually be like, "Nah, I'm still here. Like I'm still, as electric as I ever was." And I think we, you know how the season goes. Like you never play the same 11 every week. He's going to have a part to play. I think definitely. I think
100%.
the fact that people like Cozy Dewberry maybe going out on loan, or I would rather see Sarmiento go out on loan again. If it meant we could keep a Dingra. Like I think, yeah.
Yeah, no, do you know what? I agree with that.
Jeremy Sarmiento, so
It's because you fancy him, that's why.
Yeah, he's just got aura, mate. Yeah, just fancy him. Him and Calafiori, mate. No defence will be able to handle that.
You don't see any highlights. It's just
only highlights in his hair, to be honest. That's the only highlights he's got.
And talking of, I was going to say, I was going to make a good point. I completely forgot now. So was it Sarmiento? I can't remember now. Fucking hell, I'm smashing this.
Yeah, he did come on, and then it looked like he was going to have a burst of pace. I think was it for the goal? Was it before? No.
Well, yeah, no. So I believe he made the run, didn't he? He made the decoy run for one of the goals. He basically dragged the defender out. But no, Sarmiento was great. I think that was it. I was going to make a point about our strength and depth. I suppose it's really refreshing to see these players coming off the bench. Obviously, Ayari marginally offside for his goal. He looked quite good when he came on. Of course, Sarmiento looked lively, and he has done all pre-season. Who else came off the bench? Gilmour, obviously, like we mentioned, looked great. Made that pass as well. Again in that disallowed goal. So yeah, man, it was really, really good. And Herzl after the game said that it was a special showing as well. He was really impressed, and he was really happy with the clean sheet, which is going to be, I think, a big thing for us this season going into it. Ben, defensively, are you still worried that we got enough? Because we talk about our strength in depth going forward. Let's be real. Defensively, it's not looking good, Brev. Because if we get one injury. It could go all tits up, right? If, let's say, Donkey gets injured, if Van Hecker gets injured, even a Veltman at the moment, we don't have Cardioglu coming in. It could go horribly wrong if we don't get a few in, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely think we need to sign someone. Is this PSV fella a defender, Adam? You might be able to help me because I haven't looked in too much.
Oh, is it Barkioglu?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Centre back, is he?
Centre back, yeah.
Okay, good. Because obviously yesterday you had Adam Webster come on for Lewis Dunk.
And apparently he wants to come as well.
Good.
Well, he said he wants.
Why wouldn't you?
Wait, I'm pretty sure he said he would pay money out of his own pocket to come to Brighton, which just shows aura. That is the Brighton pool, mate.
The pool, mate. Yeah.
That is the Brighton pool.
By the way, we absolutely raided the Eredivisie this season. I swear most of our sides are coming from Feyenoord or PSV at the moment. But I think defensively we do need to get some backup because when Dunk came off, Webster came on. I think that is a massive concern to be fair.
Yeah,
I've got a stat here actually as well from which is great to already have. So is it BHAFC Dagan, our American fan? He said Brighton's clean sheet win over Everton in today's session is especially noteworthy with last year as a backdrop. He said last season Brighton's first clean sheet win in the Premier League came on February 18th at Sheffield United in our 25th Premier League match of the season. Finally, we got one in our first. That's actually insane. So many last season, but we just scored so many.
I remember doing a post on Seagulls Social about Verbruggen's first clean sheet, and that was really late on in the season. Which was
we were
quite
tanned.
worrying. Yeah, that was worrying time. So thankfully we've done it in the first game season. But generally that is a massive thing, isn't it? Like imagine that was over your shoulder, right? Imagine, let's say you've gone first 10 games of the season without a clean sheet. You then go into the rest of the season thinking, shit, man, like for the first 10 games, we've been awful defensively. We haven't had any clean sheets, terrible start. But to get off of the right foot, and just quickly on that goalkeeper situation, actually, I can't wait for Verbruggen. This is no dig at Steele. I just feel like with Steele sometimes he does have that moment of worry. Also, he made a great save, to be fair to him, against, I can't remember, was it Harrison? Yeah, Harrison. He made a great save in the first half. But like in pre-season, he showed me a few things that, worried me slightly. But yeah, hopefully Verbruggen's back, I believe, in the next month or so. So we should hopefully see him.
I think he's back in September, and Ciso should be as well, hopefully.
Cool. So no, that is
the thing.
Great signs.
Because Steele's been great, and like obviously De Zerbi liked it, but he's not the answer, is he? Like he's not the answer long term. And like
exactly
when you got someone like Verbruggen, maybe in hindsight it was a good thing that he was kind of being rotated last season because it could kind of bed him into the Prem a little bit better. I mean, I probably would have just played Verbruggen every game, but I kind of see why De Zerbi did that last season. I think this season, you've heard Hertzler talk about his view on rotating goalkeepers, and he said like, I've got a very strong view on that, but didn't kind of say what it is. And I reckon he's just like fully against it, basically. So
100%.
I'm hoping he's just going to play Verbruggen every game.
Yeah, I'm sure because Verbruggen had a fantastic Euros, didn't he? He looked really, really solid for Netherlands. So I believe he'll start as soon as he's back, hopefully. And then Rushworth, I believe, is going out on loan as well. So that'll be interesting to see. I'm assuming we'll just have sort of Steele as the backup, and then if he ever gets injured, maybe an academy player will have to step in as number 2. So
Cahill, I think his name is. He's like the
right
next academy player. He'd probably just be the third choice when you like warm up with the goalies before the game, that kind of thing. Like.
Yeah, because McGill's gone out on loan, right? Or
MK Dons, I think. Yeah,
that's it. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see how that develops. But and then the final one before I suppose we wrap up, if there's any other stuff. Actually, 2 things I was going to say. Firstly, massive congratulations to Milner, the first player to play 23 consecutive seasons, which is absolutely mental. And another fun fact, when he made his debut for Leeds in the Premier League, Hertzler was 9 years old, which is absolutely mental. That is insane. So a 9-year-old Hertzler sat on his sofa watching Leeds. Well, he probably wasn't, but watching Milner make his debut in the Premier League for Leeds is a pretty mental stat.
Well, if he's a football nerd, he probably was watching Leeds for some reason. Instead of playing with toys like a normal 9-year-old, he's probably watching
I mean, the guys are
doing articles about it.
The man's 31 years old and managing the Premier League, so he sounds like a bit of a prodigy to me, to be honest with you. But just quickly, boys, on Milner, an incredible feat, an incredible achievement, and what a man, what a guy.
No, it's sensational. Still probably winning the bleep test as well every single season, despite his age. He's a what's the word? He's someone that you look up to. I'm guessing, but there's a better word for that.
Role model, maybe.
Role model, the perfect role model for any young footballer. Really, like if you just treat your body well.
Perfect pro.
You can last this long. Perfect pro. You can last this long at one of the highest levels in the game, if not the highest level in the game, playing for Brighton Hove Albion. So it's nice that we've got, not only for him, but he done it in a Brighton shirt, which is incredible. And I mean, another old experienced player. I think Danny Welbeck made, was it his 400th career appearance yesterday? Am I making that up? Something like that, or maybe he's now in the 400s, which is pretty cool. We've got some decent players on our
and with Milner as well. Like, I think he's only like 20 games away from beating the all-time appearance record in the Prem. So
yes,
do you know what I mean? Like, he'll probably play 20 games this season in a 38-game season. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe not. Actually. I don't know.
It's a lot of games.
Get injured as well for a while, won't he? Like, but even if he's just like coming off the bench or like playing 5-10 minutes here, like it's possible that this season he could break that record. Which I think would be a really nice moment. Say it was like at the end of the season, like the vibes could be quite nice around that. So hopefully he does do that 100%. With us in a Brighton shirt this season.
And just really quickly, trivia: who can name me all the 6 Premier League clubs he's played for?
I'll go.
Okay, go on.
Go on.
Leeds, and then he went to Newcastle.
Yep.
And then he went to Aston Villa.
No. I think it was the other way around, but correct.
Oh right, yeah. Oh yeah. Aston Villa and then Newcastle. Sorry, yeah. Yep. And then he went to City. Then he went to Liverpool and then Brandon.
Love it.
There you go. Love that. Right. And then final thing. Do you know what, boys? This is going to sound really mental and you're probably going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I'm genuinely more excited to watch Crawley than I am Man United, purely for the fact purely for the fact that there's going to be a lot of rotation and we get to see new players.
Yeah.
So that generally, obviously, I'm buzzing for Man United, obviously, but Crawley, for the fact that we're going to rotate and we're going to see a lot of our new players like a Gruder and potentially if a Cardioglu comes on, and Yari, we're going to see all these players that we're really excited to watch. That'll be great. So I'm really looking forward to that.
I reckon it'll be a big turnout at the Amex, for just for
100%.
the Crawley vibes, because we usually play Crawley every summer. So the fact that we haven't, the football gods have been like, right, Brighton do need to play Crawley, otherwise the simulation will be corrupt.
Fixture.
Yeah, they have to play them once a season at least, otherwise the asteroid will hit the planet. So they've given us that fixture, and I was buzzing when I saw that come in. I was literally like pump fisting in the air. I was very, very happy with that one. So we get to see some rotated players. A nice warm evening at the Amex will be beautiful.
Be lovely. What do you guys think about? Obviously, Ayari comes on yesterday, gets a goal, ruled out for offside.
Oh yeah.
How does he fit into that midfield dynamic for you guys? Obviously, I think most of us would say Baleba and Weiffer are the two main ones that we want to see starting every week. Milner seems like at the moment he's the first reserve. He probably won't be going forward. Where does Ayari fit into that? Obviously, Yalkule, I think he's going out on loan. We don't have loads of options in midfield. I think we probably need a couple more, but Ayari could have a big part to play.
Were you Maz? Were you laughing then when he said first reserve?
First reserve,
yeah. So I'm our first reserve, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm first reserve. So good. But no, to answer your question, I think Ayari can be a massive part of the squad. I think he's brilliant. I think he's a really, really good footballer. He showed yesterday even in that, he was on for 10 minutes maybe? Or 15? I can't remember now. But yeah, he had a short time to make an impact, and he did. And of course he was offside. But no, and even in pre-season, he looked brilliant. He looked really, really good in pre-season. And he was meant to be sort of a really promising player when he first came from Sweden. So yeah, I think there's a future for him. Hopefully he can get some Premier League minutes. I think that's huge for his development. If not, does he go out on loan? And where would that look like? Because he's obviously been out on loan already last season. Was it Coventry went to? No, Blackburn? Or both?
I think he did half and half.
Half and half.
Coventry loan didn't work out, so I think he went to Blackburn.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, obviously he's done his championship time, similar to Sarmiento. And is it time for him now to prove his worth in the Premier League? If not, do we ship him out? I suppose it gets to that point where it's like similar to, do you remember when we had, who was it? Quite a few examples, to be honest with you. But a lot of players that we sent out on loan and then they just never came back and they never got a chance and they ended up getting sold. So it's like, when does that time come, I suppose? And again, with Ayari, probably he's got another season to get to that stage. But I think Sarmiento, for example, it's like now or never, right? It's like, well, you either play or you leave, I feel. Because there's been, 2 or 3 seasons where he's just been out on loan, etc. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah.
Ayari. He's back. He's back. He's back. Right, we had a bit of a technical glitch there. Right, any other business, boys, before we wrap up? Any other bits you want to...
I was just going to quickly run through some transfers quickly. So, Oscar Bosgagli, whatever his name is, says that he's indicated that he really wants to join us. Estepinion's back in training. Rutter's pretty much done. Kaoru was on the bench for Fenerbahce yesterday. Don't know if you saw the scenes.
So was Gilmour.
True.
So
True. But no, I mean, if you're normally going to start one of your best players, aren't you? So Mourinho's probably, and also Mourinho as manager is probably fed up that he's.
Well, if he was actually injured or if he was actually had a niggle, then that could be a part to play. But I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Sounds like a bit of a mess, to be honest.
Ibrahim Hosman obviously went to Feyenoord in the end. Moran's gone to Stoke. Sammy Kuchain's gone to Northampton. I'm just scrolling up BHAFC's timeline. It's great. St. Pauli. Got Malik Yalkule on loan. I mean, I expected that once I saw that he was given the number 44 or 40 squad number. I thought, he's gone. Tahoud was given 35, which is incredible because he was number 8 before. So you can tell he's just got no plans whatsoever. Mate, imagine if we get Root Assume, Ferdi Kadioglu. Hopefully this defender... Is
Kadioglu going to happen, though? This is my big concern. I feel like the longer it goes on, less likely we're going to get.
It's going to happen, mate. Trust me.
I don't know. I'm not here. I'm not filling with confidence. Trust me, bro. It's going to happen. Right, chaps. Absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us, Adam. Of course, Ben, as per usual. Yeah, what a great episode that was. What a way to kick off the brand new season. Of course, if you made it this far, first of all, thank you so much for listening to us for 49 minutes, rambling on about Brighton Hove Albion. But if you haven't reached this far, please do like, comment, and subscribe. It really does mean a lot to us and does help us.
Welcome, Adam.
Yes, and Jack. Welcome, Adam and Jack.
Well,
it's
Jack's
the
not
first
here,
pod,
is he?
but-
Because he's
Well,
still
no,
at
but-
sleepover.
No, I know, but he is going to be also a host.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well.
do welcome Jack as well, alongside Adam, of course. Yeah, and then make sure to share, like, all that good stuff. Really appreciate it. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, do give it a review. Again, it really is much appreciated. And also, as well, we're going to be hopefully having some more guests throughout the season. We're going to do some match previews, and we're going to hopefully get some guests on to help us along. So, if there's anyone you want to see, tag them, comment down below, all that good stuff, and let us know who you want on the podcast to do some previews as well. So, yeah, that is it from us. Thank you so much for listening. And we shall see you after the Man United. Actually, we're going to see you for the Man United preview. And then we'll see you for the Man United post-match as well.
Peace.
Peace out in a bizzle.